Sunburst Heart permanent bracelet. In this step-by-step video, I am going to demonstrate how to weld a permanent bracelet using unusual motif chains and links. There are many chains in the marketplace that are made with stations and textured links, which you can use as focal pieces inexpensively. So we have this new chain that just came in. I love these motifs. Now you can certainly wear like this for more a chunkier effect. I love that. But what you can also do with motif chains is use one single station. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to cut off one of these jump rings. You can certainly reuse them, but I'm not going to because I want both the jump rings to be the same on either side. And to mirror this effect, the sunburst effect, starburst, I'm going to use a faceted Rolo chain. So I'm going to first weld one side and then do the other. And I usually like to weld one side before measuring to weld the other. So we're going to do that. So how I do that is, and I'm going to use 22 gauge. Certainly you could use 24 or 26. And 24 is my favorite, but we're going to use 22 because the chain is slightly thicker and the heart is larger. So I'm going to close one side first. Make sure both sides are touching. And not only should you look from the side, but you should look on the top to make sure that they're not mismatched, but flat this way. Okay, so I think we're good. Let me just go here, and I'm going to use 7-watt power. You could always check to see what range you prefer. 6 will be fine too. I'm going to do 6. But basically, it really is dependent on sharpness of your electrode and the metal. And then also, you should always point to the center while holding on. I'm using grounded pliers, but you don't need to. You can just use ground and a regular pair of pliers. There we go. Excellent. So, should always check. And that looks great. I'm going to do a close-up for you to see the effect. Now, here I've been welding on 6-watt power with argon. And that is without brushing. That gives you an idea. So now we are ready to measure. And I always find that it is much easier to hook up the part that is harder and then measure, as opposed to perhaps hooking up on a chain and then finding the hole here rather tight. So as a tip, loop your jump ring through the item that has a smaller hole. It'll make finding things a lot easier. So now what I do is I hold on to this. I let the chain drape loosely. And then I'm going to mock it up, close it slightly, and see how does that feel. Does it feel okay? Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. And it's okay if it's loose by a ring or two, because you're not losing a lot. So there we go. Now, then normally you would let it drape to see if that is comfortable. If it is, then what we're going to do is now close it properly. Always 2 pairs of pliers, and I like to have it grinding to a close, and I force it like that. Okay. So I'm holding it on like that, and then I look up like that. Okay. Here we are. Leather. I've held on to it. I can see it. Okay. And we're ready to weld. It's at 6-watt power with argon, and go. And that's perfect. There you go. Sometimes, even with argon, there's a slight oxidation, and that's okay. It doesn't take a whole lot. You just simply remove it with your brush, and if you need to be scrubbier, just shorten the bristles. And I'm going to now show you a close-up of the effect.